Oh, hi everyone, my name is Joel Cleaver from Gyms Group HQ, and today with me is Paul Menon, who's from Gyms Test and Tag and Fire Safety. He's driven down just from Shepparton North just to show you what a test and tagger actually does. So thanks for doing this, Paul.
No worries at all, mate.
Can you just tell us about the Gyms Test and Tag difference when it comes to testing?
Yeah, certainly can. So one of the main differences you'll see with gyms is we leakage test most items.
Now, can we tell everyone what a leakage test is?
Yeah, righto. So a leakage test is putting power to an appliance and starting it up. So if it's, say, a drill or an angle grinder, it's physically starting it up and operating the appliance and measuring the amount of current that leaks from it.
Now, is that something that traditional, let's say, test and tag businesses would normally do, or?
No, it's generally not. It's not required under the standard unless it has a soft switch. So a drill or a grinder doesn't have a soft switch, so most companies don't test for it.
So why is it actually important to have that leakage test done?
It's super important to have it done because if somebody, let's just say, has pulled this apart to do some repairs on it, and when they've put it back together, they've pinched one of the active wires on the screw. When they start the appliance, if they touch the screw, it then becomes live and they can get electrocuted.
That extra bit of difference might mean the quote might come back a little bit more expensive, but you guys would actually go to the site, let's have 200 tools or something to test. You'd actually literally plug them all in and do the leakage test on every one of those, which other companies might not do. Yeah,
correct. So it is definitely a little bit more time consuming. And as well as that, before we plug our machine into power, we do what's called an air for lie test, so an earth resistant test, and we ensure the power point that we're plugging into is wired correctly and is safe for us to use.
Yep, so it's not just test and tag, it's obviously Gyms Fire Safety as well. So let's talk about what you've got in your hand there and what the Gyms difference is when it comes to testing and providing fire extinguishers to workplaces.
Yeah, sure, Joel. So this is a little fire extinguisher. We service fire extinguishers and fire blankets and also hose reels if you're suitably qualified to do that.
Now, what's involved with the actual, let's say if they've got a business with a fire extinguisher, what do you actually come in and do? Do you weigh them? What do you do?
Yep, sure, you most certainly do. So you come in, you inspect the fire extinguisher to ensure that there's no damage, that it's all legible and readable, the hose is in good condition. You weigh the extinguisher to make sure it comes up to weight. You'll check the gauge. If it's a powder like this, which has got a white band on it, you invert the fire extinguisher so you can hear the powder. Sometimes when you carry fire extinguishers in vehicles, the powder cements itself on the bottom. So in the event of emergency, when you go to use it, all it will do would discharge air and the powder won't actually come out. So you're not even going to put a fire out.
So just say, how often do businesses get that done, or are businesses compliant with this sort of thing, or?
Yep, so fire extinguishers are required to be serviced 6 monthly, so twice a year they need to be tested and inspected. I've found that in probably 90% of businesses I attend, they are not compliant.
90%?
Yep, 90%.
Wow.
And they may be something simple as the fire extinguisher is not suitable location, not a suitable size. It may be where it's actually mounted on the wall. Quite often you'll find them mounted up here, and for somebody to try and lift a 9 kilo fire extinguisher that weighs 14 kilos off a wall is, that's an injury waiting to happen.
Wow, so there's a lot involved. Like, people might just think it's traditionally like just coming in, as you said, and just before some people might just tag it and that's it, but you obviously got to weigh them, you got to flip them, you got to make sure they're actually positioned right. And you said there's a regular testing interval that has to be adhered to, and 90% of Australian businesses just don't get it done.
Yep, correct, yeah, that's it.
And this is something you guys can do in conjunction with coming into a workplace and testing and tagging. They might as well obviously get you guys to do the full gamut.
Yeah, 100%. Why not? You can, have us as your one-stop shop. We can service your fire extinguishers, carry your electric test and tag, test your safety switches, your emergency exit lighting, and while we're there, we can even do your first aid kits.
So thanks for that, Paul. Lots of great information. It's actually really interesting to learn about what test and tag franchisees do. A lot of people think it might just be rocking up and doing that, but as you said before, the Gyms Test and Tag difference, you go above and beyond, let's say, maybe the normal operation. So as you heard it, guys, best way to do it is 131546 or gymstestandtag.com.au to request a free quote. And we have more than 100 franchisees in Australia and New Zealand who can help you with all your test and tagging, fire safety, plus other services as well.